Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert, joined as always by my co-host, Joel Meyer. How we doing tonight, Joel?
Tired, beaten up. That's what this week has done to me. Starting with Sunday, the crushing loss, Panthers to the Rangers, and then all this tennis stuff. I'm sweating. I can't even watch it, so I'm just at work trying to scramble around, watch my phone when I can, but mostly just following on the apps. And it sucks when you got all this money, tie it up, and you can only just hope and pray that you'll see the score change in your direction. It's far easier to sweat when you're watching it live. Hockey intense. The nerves are drained, but I've got a little bit of a vacation coming up. I won't have to work until Thursday. Going a little family trip. So I'll be able to watch some tennis full time, which is important because the more meaningful matches are yet to come. How about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Big sweat last night with the Panthers. Panthers winning was a big sweat, and then I had neither team to race to 4 as a part of a parlay leg. I was sweating that once the Panthers hit the empty net. So big sweat for that game. Came out on top for my futures. Came out on top for my game bet. So that was good there. It was good because after Wednesday night, the Stars went up 2-0 and then decided to stop playing hockey and they lost 5-2 to the Oilers. Game 5 of that series is going on right now. It's tied late in the first period. Looks
more.
Like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a power play goal. Oilers just went up 1-0 there. So we'll keep you updated on that. But
that's why I've got the glasses on for the live viewers. So I don't have to squint as I watch the Stars lose.
Yeah, Joel's not squinting. He said this game's too important. He's got his glasses on. He's looking very professor-like. So he's looking.
Yeah, they're crooked though. I can't get them to sit straight. But whatever. I don't wear glasses too often.
Yeah. All right. Well, top here. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast. If that's on Apple or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating and review. And if that's on YouTube, make sure you are commenting, liking. Get in the live chat. We try to go live. We go live whenever we record, but inconsistent timing, usually around 9 p.m. ish Eastern time. So you can always get the notifications as well. And follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. Get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. Some good banter in there. Joel, we last recorded on Wednesday, right before the Stars Oilers game. I didn't start watching the game until it was 2-0 Stars. And then it was all Edmonton from there on out. Do you think was it just the Stars came out hot and ran out of gas, or what do you think it was for them in Game 4?
Yeah, that was a reversal of the script that we're used to seeing with the Oilers starting fast. At least in this series, traditionally the Oilers are kind of like the Stars in that they grew into the game, but in that case, it was the Stars that came out hot. I don't know what it was exactly. Maybe the Oilers just feeling a bit of nerves, and the Stars. They know that they start slow, like the previous game. They had to come from behind, and I guess that they were extra focused in that first little bit. But I think they got a little lucky with the goals, particularly the one that bounced off Nurse's butt, I think it was. It was a good game to watch, I guess. Not a good result, of course. Series tied now. Hopefully Stars can turn it around. But, yeah, honestly, I don't really remember much of that game. That was a Wednesday, right? Wednesday are my day drinking days, so the memory's a little foggy, but Skinner bounced back. Nurse, I think he had the most hits and block shots for the Oilers since 2006, and that was after the meat, as Kevin Bieksa calls the media. The meat ripped him apart for the previous game, and then unfortunately he had that kind of own goal there, but definitely bounced back from it with a nice performance, so good for him, I guess, but still not worth anywhere close to $9 million.
Yeah, that game. Looking just back at the goals, the Ryan McLeod goal was a puck that Ottinger should have covered up. Then you had Evan Bouchard on the rebound from McDavid there. I think that was an odd man rush. Janmark shorthanded goal. That the goal right now is just the first power play goal of the series there in Game 5, and then Draisaitl finally got on the board and Ekholm with the empty netter there. It was 4-2 for a while. It did look like the Stars could come back in. I did hit them plus 2.5 live, but it was the exact opposite of what we talked about right before that game. We're like, okay, the Oilers get a lead and blow it, but the Stars got a lead and blew it that time. I guess we'll see what happens tonight here in Game 5 with the Oilers up early.
Yeah, let's go back to the old script with the Stars line.
Yeah, I hope so. So Stars had some good chance. Both teams had some good chances early on the first 10 minutes or so, and I was still watching there. So hopefully they can pick it up as the game moves along. Make sure you check out the college baseball experience. College baseball tournament has started, so make sure you check that out. Plus, today's the last day for the 15% off in the merch store using promo code SGP and May. 15% off on anything Hockey on the Podcast related in there. But the big game last night, Panthers must-win game, pretty much must-win game for the Rangers at home. Chris Kreider makes his advantage at get the monkeys off their back with the shorty to open the scoring. But the Panthers come back with Forsling, Lundell, a few of their unsung heroes in that game, coming through. Got close late with a Lafreniere goal again on a Zibanejad tip, or Zibanejad shot, Lafreniere tip. But Panthers, once again, much better team, and just the Shesterkin could not bail him out.
Yeah, I can't really blame Shesterkin for any of it, but that was actually the Rangers' best game, I think, of the entire series. That was like their best effort, but they were still unable to win because the Panthers are just that good, especially later on in the game. When it's close, you still feel confident that they'll find a way. And then, they sure did. Interesting game. I liked what I saw from the Rangers, to be honest. Objectively, not speaking of my bets, do not like it when they play well, but good result in the end. Very relieved because I think that series is done now. I mean, the Panthers took the best shot and they still managed to come out on top. I guess we'll talk about the next game and talk about that more in depth there. But I think the Panthers are the best team in the playoffs, and I'm growing more and more confident that they're gonna win the cup. So I bet a bunch more Conn Smythe stuff. So as if I don't have enough Panthers, just keep adding more because I'll be shocked if the Rangers win 2 games in a row here.
Yeah, that would be shocking there. And the one thing I want to bring up about the Rangers, they got the shorthanded goal early in the second period, quickly went on the power play right after that, like a minute or two later. Had a chance to go 5-on-3 with a Nico Mikkola goaltender interference, but Eric Gustafsson was the third man, the third Ranger in against the Oilers to even that up. I don't know if maybe you got to stand up for your goalie. You can't just let him do whatever you want. But in that moment, if they had like a 90-second 5-on-3, it would have been. Could have went up 2-0, could have changed the whole game and the whole series.
Yeah. Exactly. I was very frustrated at that point because there was a commercial break too, so we didn't know that it was evened up, right? I think there was a commercial break, but anyway, there's an extended period of time where you think that it's going to be a 5-on-3. So I'm like, oh my word, that's almost a sure goal with the way the Rangers power play works, clicking with all their quick passes and whatnot. But fortunately, the guy took the extra penalty, so not to be. And we march on. You're saying to always run into Igor, which makes sense, but not when you're killing a penalty, because a 5-on-3 is not worth just a shot at the goalie there. So otherwise, I'm totally fine with running into him because that's what the Panthers do anyway. They work to confuse and perturb the opponent's goalie and just walk that fine line between being undisciplined and just pissing the opponent off and getting an advantage that way.
Yeah, there were more power plays than I thought there would be in that game. But both teams had 3 power plays. Not necessarily bad penalty calls, but just
fairly soft ones for game 5.
Not what you want to see in a game 5 in a 2-2 series where this game swings a lot of the momentum, especially if the Panthers win going back home there. But, Panthers came out on top, now have a 3-2 lead going back home on Saturday night. But before we get into that, we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The playoffs are here, and our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Use promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, we have a game on Saturday night here in Sunrise. 8 p.m. Eastern is the puck drop. Game 6, Panthers are -165. Rangers are +145. Over-under is once again at 5.5. Under heavily favored here, -130, -140, some shops. over as high as plus 115. You've already kind of alluded to it. What are you thinking here for Game 6?
Yeah, just gonna keep doing what we always do there. Just keep betting the Panthers. Same price as the previous game, and we saw how superior the Panthers were in both games 3 and 4. Unlucky result in Game 3, but got the power play goal in Game 4 to even it up. But yeah, so love the Panthers here. Sound like a broken record here, but a far superior team in every aspect of the game except for goaltending. And Bobrovsky hasn't been a liability, so there's not a massive advantage, I don't think, in terms of the net mining. So, yeah, like the Panthers here, under 5.5, I think. But you know what? Actually, I think the Panthers just roll. I think they find a way to win by margin here finally, and it won't be a close game. I would take them on the puck line for this one. I think they storm the Rangers here. Rangers, desperate team, I guess, but I think that they used a lot of that desperation up there in Game 5, which, as I said, was their best of the series, and I just don't think that they can repeat that. But the Panthers, they play a great game like almost every game, so they showed that they can maintain and sustain that level of performance. So I like the Panthers yet again. You could money line, puck line, that kind of thing. Maybe a little bit on the under because it's Game 6, but you're walking a fine line there if you're expecting the Panthers to win by margin and stay under the total. But yeah, Panthers is the way to go once again.
Yeah, don't hate that.
Yeah, keep going. I'll say it after.
Yeah, don't hate that puck line look. I saw it at plus 154 at DraftKings, but it's plus 165 at ESPN Bet, plus 162 at FanDuel. Like, yeah, you could easily see them hitting the empty net, especially if they're the better team. Rangers could pull Shesterkin relatively early again. They did it last night there.
Yeah, so, exactly. 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Once again, they get an early empty net goal there. These coaches are kind of mad pulling the goalies this early. I think the Oilers did the same thing in Game 3, I believe it was, where there was it was a weird timing too. Like they didn't have the defensive zone. It was 2.5 minutes left, and the Stars immediately turned the puck over and then shot at the empty net. So yeah, it's a weird trend we're seeing with these coaches with the curious goaltending pulls.
Yeah, I was annoyed by that because I had Stars plus 2.5, so I knew they were going to pull them early, but they didn't even get like an offensive zone faceoff for that. So,
is that Game 4?
I think so. And when Ekholm got,
I know the Oilers did it too. So in Game 3,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. But I think both teams have been kind of pulling goals.
There you go. So you had another example.
Yeah, but alternatively, like I could see the Panthers winning by margin, but I could see another 2-1, 3-2 overtime type game. Plus 1.5, under 5.5 for the Rangers is plus 145, which is hit in most games this series. Plus 2.5, under 6.5.
Every game but the first, right?
I think so. I don't
have not the 9-goal game, of course.
Yeah, not the 9-goal game, but yeah, every game, but yeah, the 9-goal game there. So yeah, or plus 2.5, under 6.5, and you do have some cushion there for potential empty netter. But of course, they maybe take a minus 2.5. I don't know what the Panthers minus 2.5 could be, but in these elimination games, definitely potentially worth looking at laddering there. You also could just see Shesterkin not even have a bad game, just not have an insane game, and like the Panthers, put up a few early and keep piling it on. But looking at the props, I'm taking Shesterkin saves over 29.5. That's around even money. Panthers 37 shots last game, 40 shots at home. On the playoffs, the Florida Panthers have the second best shots per 60 at 5-on-5 at 30.78, and then the Rangers are allowing 30.81, and they're not. And also, I like Bobrovsky saves under because the Rangers are not shooting much at all. They're averaging 23 shots per 60 minutes at 5-on-5, especially on the road. Last few road games in Florida, 23 shots both in this series. Last 2 games in Carolina, 24 shots, 25 shots, 25 shots. I think that's sitting at 23.5. I got it at 23.5 under for Bob there. So, yeah, I mean, this should be another, 3-2 game. Would not surprise me. 2-2 overtime possibly. So, lean to the under, but I like the Panthers, riding the Panthers for the series, and they're probably not going to be betting this game individually besides for the props.
That makes a lot of sense to me. I might tell you on that. Shesterkin saves or Panther shots, whatever I could find there. Maybe they let Chase Igor. Huh? Maybe we'll see a Jonathan Quick appearance.
They could keep running them. I mean, yeah. If your book offers just team shots on goal props, I would probably rather take that because I know some books have it as like goalie saves in regulation. I know FanDuel has it that. So like, if it goes to overtime, you could be screwed there. So yeah, whatever your book has, I think Canby books have team shots on goal totals. So yeah, shop around, throw it in the Discord. We'll answer your questions there.
Anyway, what I was going to say there before was I've been meaning to say this for a while, but limited recordings here. But before the series, Paul Maurice described his team as I'm paraphrasing here, as a beautiful mixture of grace and violence. And that's when I knew I'm on the right fucking team here. That's exactly what you want in a hockey team. Perfect mixture of grace and violence. You got the skill, you got the combativeness, you got the competitiveness, you got all the good things that make a playoff Stanley Cup champion. And yeah, Paul Maurice is having the time of his life. He's got a bunch of quotes. Like he was making fun of the stats guys who are saying that they only gave the puck away one time. he asked, was it Bobrovsky? No, it was Ekblad. He's like, oh, he's out. Yeah. So I love Paul Maurice. I really hope he wins the cup, not just for myself, but for himself. Like he's been an awesome coach for years and years. One of the more veteran coaches now. Like he's up there in terms of wins, but no Stanley Cup wins, and hopefully he gets his ring in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Maurice is winning me over day after day, quote after quote. Everything you see is just like it's just gold. So I hope someone puts together like a video reel of all his quotes, because
Paul the poet.
Paul the poet, and that's what you need to grow the game. You need these. Even a coach showing some personality that helps. He's shown a lot more personality than Connor McDavid's bland ass in his interviews. So good for the Panthers to keep going there.
Interviews with the meat.
The meat, yes. All right. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. If you're betting on NBA player props and you need to download Rhythm, Rhythm gives you a menu of the best player props for every single NBA playoff game, making it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Rhythm's predictions are backed by over 3 years of data and a team of data scientists and quants that focus on fine-tuning our algorithm to give you the best shot at winning. From superstars to bench players, Rhythm finds the best player prop lines, all backed by AI data, without you needing to endlessly scroll a sports book. Rhythm also allows you to create your own custom NBA models. So start a free 7-day trial and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm, available wherever you get your apps. All right, you want to look at the Conn Smythe market a bit? Let me pull those up. You mentioned you were adding some Panthers Conn Smythe earlier today. What were you mainly looking at there?
Yeah, more yesterday, but yes, Barkov I think is the likeliest. Him and Tkachuk, and they're reflected in the odds there with 5-1, 7-1 in that range. Barkov the slight favorite, but he's getting all the attention right now. Everybody's talking about him. And he's just the identity of that team. We talked about how he ran away with the Selke Trophy, and I heard a stat today that he leads the NHL in terms of puck battles won, which is always an alluring stat for the voters, as long as they're made aware of it. Which in an increasingly analytical age, they do look a little bit deeper into these stats. It's not just the plus minus. Which, by the way, if it were that, hello. Gustav Forsling would win the Conn Smythe a lot of the time, and he's awesome at the he was like 15-20 ahead of the second place guy in the regular season. Anyway, love that guy. Former Canuck. Didn't work out here. He was a draft pick, so a lot of the Canucks media are whining about that.
He didn't work out a lot of places, wasn't he? Like waived somewhere this year?
Carolina, yeah.
Carolina, that's crazy. Carolina gave up on Forsling.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the smarter organizations, but not to be. So one of the questions was, would it be worse seeing Oliver Ekman-Larsson winning a cup because the Canucks are still paying him, or Gustav Forsling because of the potential there, and Canucks gave up on him early. So anyway, that's just a Vancouver update. Without Talon here, we got to have some local flair, some local attention. But Barkov and Tkachuk, Reinhart too. He's way down on there. If you want a longer shot, he's not too far behind them in terms of points, and he's elite goal scorer. We could see what he does in a one game. Like he got the hat trick this series in a losing effort. But Yeah, he's what, 60-1, 75-1 there.
75-1, yeah.
So yeah, if you want a longer shot there, that's what I'd target, but mainly Barkov right now. Like I parlayed him with Iga Swiatek, of course. I've got Iga with like fucking everything now. And a little bit of Alex Zverev too. I'll get into the tennis stuff a little bit, but yeah, Barkov and Kachuk and Reinhart are my guys there for the Panthers. And do you disagree, or do you see anyone else?
No, that's mostly what I'm on board with. I don't have enough Barkov yet, so I'm going to be adding him because it's gonna, if Barkov wins, it's going to be like a narrative, like you said, ran away with the Selke, has all like the puck battles, has the analytic stats, and like if the writers like him, he's always been underrated. Like you could see him finally getting if they win the cup, him getting the Conn Smythe. But I don't know if Kachuk right now he has 2 more points than Barkov. Even Verhaeghe has as many points as Barkov with 3 more goals. Like, I'm not ready to say Barkov should be the favorite. 5-1, I think, is a little short. I did see him 7-1 like earlier today at some point, so thought it'd probably pop up when more markets open back up. Yeah, Kachuk 7-1. I don't see Bobrovsky winning. I said earlier this series that I could see it winning with if they beat the Rangers, have to win a bunch of low scoring games, but don't think that's happening. I like Reinhart 75-1. I'm on 125-1 or whatever, so would not hate that at all. Gustav Forsling's down to 30-1 here at FanDuel apparently, which is crazy. I threw something on him at like 200-1 last night or a few nights ago, and he's playing big minutes, unsung hero. If the votes are split between a few forwards, could see Forsling. Definitely worse bets for 200-1.
Well, yeah, 200-1, not a 30-1 now.
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah,
it's too late.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think earlier I saw him like 150-1 at Canby Books, which Canby Books are off the board now during the game. So keep an eye out for that when they open back up.
But for the West, I don't have anybody really. I just have Wyatt Johnston. That's my only guy in the West, and I don't know who to add. Because all the guys I'd like to add are just a little bit too short. Because I think the Panthers are the likeliest team to win now. If anybody, I've been looking at Miro. I've never bet him. He'd be the closest guy I would add at this point. He's just so good, so consistent, and he's recognized as a leader of the team, a quiet performer. And I think Ottinger is just too short. I've been saying that for weeks now. He's even at 7-1 now, but now that they're losing to the Oilers in Game 5 here, so you can understand why the odds are drifted a little bit. But I don't have any idea what to do with the West, because I don't think that the West is winning right now. The Panthers, I think they're just on a mission to win the whole thing. If the Oilers weren't winning this game, I would say the Stars have a good shot against them. But yeah, it's tough going here without knowing the results of this one.
Yeah, hopefully the Stars can come back. But yeah, like you said, the West, I do have quite a few Stars. I have Robertson. I touted for at 60-1, 50-1. He's down now at 30-1, I think. 30-1 there. I sprinkled some Sagan and
how about some Austin Matthews there, 45-1.
Jack Eichel,
he's coming back
too. Yeah, I got some Robertson. I got some Heiskanen. I have him at 20-1 and then 14-1 again. Robertson's my big one though. Jamie Benn, I got 250 on at 230-1. He's on a point streak coming into tonight's game. He's playing power play. He's the captain. He's always been there. Like can't get it done. So could see him if he comes through in the clutch in the final there if they make it. Yeah, I like Heiskanen a lot. He's tied for the team lead in points while averaging almost over 28 minutes a game. Like Robertson being 30-1 when I guess Johnson 25-1 isn't bad either. But like Wyatt Johnston, Jamie Benn both have 15 points. Robertson has 16 points. So I think there might be some value on the Stars, but like you said, if they lose tonight I could see him winning back-to-back games against Edmonton, but if they lose tonight, it's going to be a big uphill battle.
Yeah, going forward, this isn't as helpful right now since we're this deep into the playoffs. But my guy Ken Barkley is very good with this stuff. He was saying that since the lockout, no no player has won the Conn Smythe who wasn't top 3 in terms of their point scoring on their own team in the regular season. So you need to have that kind of reputation of an elite player already. We still haven't seen a guy come out of nowhere to win the Conn Smythe that hasn't been one of the best players in the regular season. So that's just something to be mindful of. Like that kind of like takes out Carter Verhaeghe, for instance, or who else is up here? Like Hyman. I don't think he was top 3 because Bouchard was ahead of him, right? In terms of points.
Possibly, yeah. I'm just looking at the Stars. Joe Pavelski had 67 points in the regular season. He's just disappeared in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I think he had his first point, or no, I don't think he has a point yet in the series.
Yeah.
So, like the old guys are kind of falling apart here for the Stars. They're really being carried by that Ben Stankoven and Wyatt Johnston line, and of course Miro and Tanev. Of course, he's the old guy, really putting in a shift there. He's been even playing on a potentially very serious foot injury tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good to see him in the lineup tonight after he was in a walking boot. Yeah, Dallas Robo had 80, then Pavelski 67, Wyatt, Hintz, and Duchesne all 65, and Ben 60. So, yeah, probably be Robertson or could see
Wyatt was outside of the top 3.
Wyatt was top 3. He was tied for 3rd. Yeah, so he's there. Florida, Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov. So, yeah, like you said, Verhaeghe's kind of out of it. Feel like he would have to have a huge Stanley Cup final like Marchessault did for him to win it. And let me check out the Oilers real quick. Bouchard was
David Draisaitl, Bouchard, right?
Yeah, McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Hyman. And the more I look at it, the more I think about it, the more I think if you like the Oilers, just take McDavid for Conn Smythe. Draisaitl's been slowing down. Like I said last show, I know he scored last game, but I think his injury could be catching up to him, and not really having much time off. Maybe if they win this series in 6, they get 4 or 5 days off before game 1. Maybe he can get rejuvenated, but I'm leaning more towards just McDavid if the Oilers win it all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that these odds are great. I wouldn't bet the Oilers. No. McDavid here at plus 490 is the best price in the books you're looking at. You could find better out there. But
yeah, this one only has FanDuel and DraftKings on it.
Oh, because they're the only ones live right now.
Yeah, they're the only ones live right now. But yeah, can be and MGM check down.
Probably had an assist too on that Hyman goal, I would imagine.
Or I think I saw Bouchard and McDavid on that goal. So
yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Make sure you're subscribed to Talking About Podcast. We're listening to your podcast, YouTube as well, Twitter at HockeySGPN, and get in the Discord. Joel, how's tennis been going? I know you talk about being frustrated, probably frustrated with the weather too. I didn't realize there's so much rain going on over there.
I don't know why the French Open is on during the rainy season in Paris. Like this happens a lot. But it's been really bad this year. I mean, the whole week has just been like they can only play the courts indoors, and then for the 2 hours where it's not raining, they have everybody going. So it's like you can't just focus on one match. You got to follow 10 at once, more than that. It's pretty wild. Hopefully they can catch up. Hopefully the rain stops. I think it's supposed to stop. I think it has stopped for tomorrow, but hopefully that's the case, and we can finally get some matches in. But yeah. Anyway, before the tournament, the logic was, and to be honest, I'm not originating tennis bets. This is stuff that I'm hearing and relaying from other sharp guys I like. But yeah, the thought is that the Djokovic, Alcaraz, Sinner all have concerns, mostly health related, going into it, so they shouldn't be that far ahead of the field or even favored at all. With the next wave of guys, Zverev, Tsitsipas, and Casper Ruud being more or less their equals, with the question marks surrounding the favorites. So yeah, we wanted to into it with Ruud and Sinner. I had in a Scheffler's Masters parlor from a while ago. That was before his hip injury, so we still have a lot of Sinner, but hopefully he can survive without, I don't know, getting rupturing his appendix or whatever the fuck is next with this guy. Like this guy just can't stay healthy for more than a couple of months, it seems like. But anyway, so yeah, we had Casper Ruud 14-1. That was our target, but now he won Geneva the week before, and he had a brutal match against Davidovich Fokina, ADF, and that lasted five sets, went the distance. So he's going to be even more exhausted after that. So it's really hard foresee him going the entire distance now. Like we hoped him to win these in quick order, 3 or 4 sets at most in the early rounds. So we have some gas left in the tank later on. But losing a little bit of confidence in that. He could still win for sure, but I've pivoted to betting a lot of Alexander Zverev. There was a question mark in terms of his ongoing trial because he was fined by the German courts, I think, for hitting his girlfriend or something, and now he's suing them, saying that they were wrong about it. So that's going. Like, I think that happened today. He's not there in person, but it's a phone call. I don't know how it works. Anyway, that was a distraction, but I don't think that he cares about that. If anything, it seems to have like fired him up to play better tennis because he's playing the best tennis of his career, really. And he has beat Djokovic twice, and he would meet him in the semifinals. So I like Alexander Zverev quite a bit, and that's who I'm riding with now. Zverev, Ruud, and our guy Yannick Sinner.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, keep us updated throughout the tournament. We'll be back.
We got the woman. Don't forget the woman.
Got the women too,
on the woman's side. Wow, it's simple. It's Iga Swiatek.
The top girl, right?
Yeah, Iga Swiatek. This is the one I'm most invested in because I've bet her so many times, and it's tough because she's minus 200 favorite, and these women's sets, of course, are only 3 sets, so it's a bit more volatile. But so you don't have a lot of grace like in a men's set. A guy can lose a couple sets and still manage to find his way back, but for the woman, it's a little tougher. Iga. I was going to say some more things, but we can get out of here. I don't know if anyone cares to listen about my tennis stuff late on a Friday night or early Saturday morning, whenever you listen to this.
Yeah, it's a weekend. We got second period about to start here. We back Monday. You good Monday night?
Well, I got that family thing going on, but I might be able to record there, like the Orville American episode we did a couple weeks ago. But we'll see if there is a game to talk about. I guess this one could be Tuesday, right? Game 7.
Yeah, Game 7 of the East would be Monday. Game 7 of the West would be Tuesday. And then
so there might not even be a game.
Might not be anything to talk about. It might just be a Stanley Cup final preview at some point next week. So maybe we'll get a Tommy Toronto back. Hopefully, I know I think he's been working nights, so hopefully he's doing well since his Maple Leafs got eliminated. But
Austin Matthews still has a chance for Conn Smythe, though.
Austin Matthews, Conn Smythe, 45-1. Put it in. All right. Yeah, make sure you're following us on Twitter at HockeySGPN and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
I'm Joel Meyer. I am a broken record. Go fucking Florida Panthers. Let's go. And the Dallas Stars. Come on. It's just the Oilers. These guys choke all the time. You can do it, Dallas.
Get it done.
Yeah. Cowboy. Wyatt Johnston. Next goal.
See ya.